You're listening to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcast on the European Defence Industrial Development Programme.
With NATO long-shouldering the military burden in Europe, the EU has enjoyed mastering its soft power.
But in the face of changing world politics and new security threats, the EU is starting to get serious about its own security and has embarked on a general scaling up of its defence capabilities. Stay with us.
If the threat of war in Europe was unthinkable until recently, it does not require a great deal of imagination to picture one now.
Think of the military escalation with Russia, instability on the EU's doorstep, especially in the Middle East, rising terrorist threats inside the EU, and cybersecurity concerns.
Against this backdrop, the US, China, Russia and Saudi Arabia are arming themselves to the teeth. But defence budgets in most European countries remain well below NATO's goal of spending 2% of GDP on defence. And after years of underinvestment, Europe is now seriously lagging behind its counterparts in many defence-related fields.
So what to do?
Well, the first step has already been taken, and that was realising that there was a problem, that we could not keep relying on the US to continue protecting European citizens in the future. This is why the EU has decided to take its own defence seriously and get ready to start defending itself.
The question was whether to do it in the framework of NATO or if more emphasis should be put on EU structures. But in both cases, there was agreement on the need for an improved defence industrial base in Europe.
So what steps have been taken? Stay with us.
In 2016, the EU presented its global strategy for a foreign and security policy, which was essentially a call for more investment and more cooperation between EU member states on defence issues.
Immediately after that, the EU and NATO signed a joint declaration underlining the urgent need to develop coherent, complementary and interoperable defence capabilities between EU member states and NATO allies.
A few months later, in November 2016, the Commission adopted a European Defence Action Plan with an associated European Defence Fund to support collaborative research in innovative defence technologies and the development of defence products jointly agreed by the Member States.
As part of the implementation of the Defence Action Plan, in June 2017, the Commission unveiled its plans for a European Defence Industrial Development Programme, or EDIDP.
EDIDP aims at fostering the competitiveness and innovative capacity of the EU defence industry by supporting cooperation between undertakings in the development phase of defence products and technologies.
The programme would fund projects in areas such as defining common technical specifications, prototyping, testing, qualification and certification of new defence products, as well as feasibility studies and other support activities.
But it does not include production, so this programme is about filling the gap between the research and the production phase.
The idea is that in the 2-year period 2019 to 2020, the programme would have a budget of €500 million to be drawn from the EU's multi-annual budget. The Commission has already indicated that it wants to raise that level in the next EU financial framework from 2021 on.
So, when will the proposal be adopted? Stay with us.
Well, the Commission would like Parliament and Council to reach agreement by summer 2018 so that cash could start flowing into projects in 2019. But let's see what the co-legislators have to say.
Well, at European Parliament level, MEPs have always encouraged the Commission to strengthen the industrial and technological base of the defence sector and welcomed the increased financial support for defence research at EU level.
So in principle, the Committee on Industry, Research and Energy is very supportive of the proposal, arguing it will allow Europe to do more with less and help reduce dependency on other countries to ensure our own security.
Member States have also examined the proposal and Parliament and Council have discussed it in trilogue meetings with the hope that agreement can be sealed soon, allowing the money to be available from 2019 as planned.
What's clear is that in the light of the new security threats and amid growing uncertainty about the reliability of some traditional allies, adding some teeth to Europe's foreign policy may not be a bad idea.
You're listening to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcasts.